If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home. I was just
Good morning and welcome to the Dark Mom Consortium for April the 21st, 2020. I just realized it's April the 21st, which means it would have been my father's birthday. And if I'm remembering the numbers right, he would have been 97 today. Wow. So, Dad, I'm drinking coffee in your honor. Though if I was truly doing this in your honor, it would be, vodka. Which, one reason I don't drink vodka. Not in the morning, at least. Actually, probably not in the afternoon. So, anyway, folks, I, as you probably do or do not know, was given a jellyfish, the experimental Vulcan ship by my fleet. And one thing that I'd like to do is start developing it as a Kelvin phaser build, keeping in with what a jellyfish was originally. So, if you have any ideas or thoughts about what the ultimate Kelvin phaser jellyfish build, it's a psi build, might be, feel free to drop a note into the messages here. I haven't started buying anything, but this is going to be my ongoing project for the next couple of days or weeks. We have in the supplies, let's take a quick look here, about 500 million EC that we can invest in it, and about 12 million dilithium. That said, I don't have a ton of Lobi, so it's going to be limited on the Lobi stuff. Reputations are maxed out, so we can do anything in reputation. We can do anything in the exchange, just about. We can do just about anything with dilithium. And I don't mind a complete revamp of my ship. It is going to go to this tune. This is my Andorian Kethma. Kethma is the very first tune I ever did. So let's... excuse me. Checking out our logs here. We'll scroll down to the beginning here. And this is the first online message that I got, which was February the 7th, 2010. And for those of you who are thinking about the game premiered slightly after that, yeah, that's true. And for a long time, I just slowly worked through all of these old ones, learning things, mostly yelling at my son, "Where the heck is Sulu?" And he would come in here and help me figure out how to read maps, all that fun stuff. Moving forward, there may be a slight change to the layout of how we're going to do this because I have a temporary job coming up that is nights, 9:30 to 6:30, doing something I do particularly well, which is working front lines of the healthcare, but in a weird way, which is also the way I do things. There's a local business that wants to screen every employee when they come in, make sure nobody's infected. So they were looking for some people who had medical training, i.e. people like me, who didn't want to get back into medical, though I had been thinking about that recently. But anyway, it's a night thing, so we'll be running at a little bit different schedule, probably 7 a.m. instead of 6 a.m., and the evenings probably start at 5 p.m. and run through till 8 or 8:30, since I have to work 9:30 p.m. till about 5:30 in the morning. Which sounds really grueling, but it's the same as 9 to 5 in the days. You just have to do the mental shift. Because what the heck, when you're locked inside a building, it doesn't really matter if it's day or night. And as I pointed out to my husband, that means I can stop at Dunkin' Donuts on the way in and get you a donut every morning. Lucky you. So I was saying, now we need to hurry up and get to Thursday. What's Thursday? What is Thursday? Thursday is Winter Wonderland, and it's double XP. Speaking of which, if you're doing the events and you're picking up the extra markers for the experience pool, kick those in on Thursday so that they can start doing extra work when you're doing extra work. So I've got to go through and make sure that at least some of my tunes have got that. I know several have got it. I don't know if everybody's got it. Oof, 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 oof. My dogs are outside. So what was I going to do this morning? Oh, I was going to work on endeavors. If you are working on an endeavor and need some assistance, yes, I can talk. You can join us in Discord. If you have not joined us in Discord, due to something that happened this weekend, we've now put everyone on a temporary wait list. We need to go back and verify you. Not that I know how to do that. So if you're currently in Discord, no changes. If you need to come in, let us know and we'll take care of getting you in. But we had somebody who was shouldn't have been here and isn't anymore, so we're fine. But that was a whole frou-frou. Otherwise, go ahead and send me a message in chat and we can get things done there. So obviously, what have I got here? Destroy Terran ships. Polaron damage in space. Not bad. Defeat Voth on the battle zone. Ground battle zone. Let's see if we've got anything. Yeah, we could actually go turn this in. Go do that. So let's go off to Vothland. And then we're going to switch over to the Jem'Hadar to do the Polaron damage, because that's my Polaron build. And I assume that everybody tracks that stuff mentally a lot better than I do. I actually have my notepad here with primary weapons builds and primary ground builds. So let's see what the heck Kethma's doing. Kethma is running, on my Morrigu. I love the Morrigu. This really should get upgraded to a fleet ship. Interesting. Don't forget, we have the winter event starting on Thursday, and if you've already acquired your winter ship from 2019, you can earn 200 Lobi instead. So hopefully everybody will go there and be crazy and having fun. I want to take a look at the accolades before we go any further, though. Let's see if there's stuff I don't have. Oh, no, this is Kabali. I think I've got everything relating to the Battle of Brea 3. I don't even know what the Battle of Brea 3 is. Defend the Beta Quadrant 15 times. I don't even know what some of these are. Wow. Take no damage as Lek. Kabali Completionist. 87 enemies. This one... Boy, I thought I had a lot of these ones. I don't. Good. Wow, I have got some serious stuff to get done here. Bajoran Temple, Critical Care, People on the Azura, Pavo Dissension. Oh, that one's pretty easy to do. Dyson EV Suit Collector. Yeah, I know. I've got work to do here. Let's see. We're going to go off and do Terran Empire officers. Nope. That's ships today. Any Voth stuff we haven't done? Oh, goodness. Some of these are from lockboxes. That's not fun. I don't have new Romulus Researcher done on this tune? Amazing. That can't be right. I've been there way too much. Okay, let's go off Kill the Voth. And we're going to go to New Romulus and work on one of our accolades. So let's take the shortcut. Since we have lovely weather here and we're doing the whole social isolation thing, I decided to take my dogs to the forest preserves, which are across the street from where we live. And it's early spring and we've had snow, so I'm not worried about ticks. And last night we're doing the live stream, And I felt something in my hair. Ticks. I have ticks in my hair. Ugh. So I discreetly didn't do any screaming until after we were done. Jumped into the bathroom, stripped off all my clothes, and had my husband comb out my hair and try and find any more ticks. I hate ticks. Dog number 1 has virtually no hair, so if she gets a tick, you see it immediately. No problems. Dog number 2 has incredibly thick hair, and the ticks can't get into it. He's got a double coat, and it's still all in there, so poor ticks aren't going to get a meal from the arrow barrel. Let's go trade this in. Okay, let's pick up these. We have to kill 60 Voth. We've got all of our missions here. Let's see what's up on the map. Ooh, we need to go into the city. I'm not a big fan of the city, but it looks like the transporter is done, so let's take the transporter in. The city missions are absolutely fine. It's the map that drives me crazy. Let's see what we got down there. Got that. I don't object to quite a few of them, but what am I running for weapons? What have I got for weapons today? I don't know. We're not about to find out. Don't like swarmers because they don't count. And you don't get anything for killing off the swarmers, is the problem. And let's go over here and see what's on this one. Come on. Freaking swarmers. Worse than ticks. Alright. I'm tired of you ticks. Okay, somebody's starting this up. Perfect. So even after all that, we've killed absolutely no Voth. Oh, locking up there. An assimilated one? Really? Well, I've gotten 2 of 60 done. Joy. Let's get that done. Excuse my coughing. No, it's not COVID. It's allergies. Gosh darn allergies. Well, that's the 5th of them done. 12 out of 60. Okay, that's 1. Let's see what else we've got. Ugh, we're gonna have to go straight down from here. There we go. Shall we re-request? Oh, nope. Nothing to request yet. Killing new swarmers is not efficient. I'm not doing it. When we're done here, somebody noticed a really interesting effect. We won't call it a bug because it might have been intentional. I'm going to take a look at it in just a second and see if I can make it happen here. I think we'll have to get out of this battle first. Then I'll see if I can make it happen. Third of the way done. Coming up on the halfway point here at 28 out of 60. Oh, you guys are just way too efficient playing this game. Alright, oops, about to lose that one. I wonder if there's an easier way to get there. Over and up. Okay. .25-meter range on this weapon. Yeah, I know I could switch it out for something better. Okay, that point's secure. Okay, it looks like we're probably going to drop dinos very shortly. There's only 3 sections left down in the outskirts. Let's see if we can get there and get a little bit more done. Running back to the transporter in the city is challenging, but before we go any further, let's do this. We'll trade you out for my frosty boots. And then we want to check one thing really quick here. Don't know if I can do this quickly. In progress. Okay. And the details were good. Check out my duty officers. Yeah, that's what I thought. Dinos. We'll come back to this. Let's hit the outskirts because that one's the easiest one to get to. We'll come back to Commander Arnold and changing this up in a minute. We'll get Denver out of there. Get a few other toys out while we're at it. They should give you extra points for soloing a big guy. That would be so good. See if we can do a mind meld with him. By the way, if you haven't played with your Bioessence Transfer, I highly recommend it. It's a universal genetic sequencer. And lets you do all kinds of fun things, but it kind of sucks the life energy out of your opponent. I was going to say, kind of like marriage, but you know what? My husband's really awesome. But it's a good joke anyway. Well, I just heard an interesting sound. I'll have to go check that out in just a moment. But I have to kill a dinosaur first. Uzum goes. Dead. His goal has gone. Alright, and I think that'll be all three. It is. Cool. Alright, let's see if I can run through them. Yes! Let's fix you. And let's see if we can find Julian. Julian, where are you? Okay, 12.8. We're getting closer, closer, closer. Close enough. Oh! No wonder we couldn't see him. The dinosaur's on top of him. There we go, Julian. Alright, so let's make sure I've got who I want in my roster. I want to make sure I've got my hut. Who's coming over? Ooh, it's Jason Moreland. Good morning, Jason Moreland and team. Good morning, Maximus, by the way. Yeah, I'm doing just fine with the COVID stuff. Yeah, that's what I was saying. My new job is actually going to be, if it all happens, will be basically making sure people who are potentially exhibiting symptoms of COVID don't go into a manufacturing situation, which means I get to deal with people up front. However, I've had to play with people with AIDS and HIV and Hep C and Hep B, and I've survived that. I can survive this. So good morning, Jason Moreland. How are you doing? I hope you're all having a great morning. I am. It's gorgeous and sunny, and ignoring the fact that I just discovered all the ticks are out and currently in my clothes, which are in the washer, and freaking me out a little bit because I just hate creepy crawlies in my hair. Other than that, I'm fine. Anyway, we're going to put the EMH on active duty here because... Let's see if I can make this happen. Apparently, if you have your EMH active and you hit your Pavin Healing Crystal, it makes your EMH appear. So let's go find a battle zone and see if that really happens. We're going to change instances here. We were playing Pavo Dissension last night and Draenor Beach Assault and got into a couple of situations where somebody hit their crystal and all of a sudden the EMH appears to everyone. Good morning, Duffy. So, let's see what we got around here. Oh, got his own about to fall. Pardon? I just heard you talking there.
If you have the Pavin Healing Crystal and someone else has the doctor, it triggers their doctor.
It triggers their doctor. Okay, that makes sense. Because I was going to say, I've been running this for a long time and never had that happen.
Oh, and I need to take care of the feedback problem.
Okay, so we were thinking that it's if you have the EMH and the Pavin Healing Crystal, because I do. So let's see. Yeah. No
I actually gave Pavin Healing Crystals to all my buffs, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they basically have all these unlimited healing devices.
Okay, the Poppin Healing Crystal comes from which episode?
No, it's one of the discovery things.
Okay.
Oh
God, that means
problem.
I have to go play that again. Actually, I don't mind the Poppin missions too much. Not real big on the discovery ones that are strictly discovery, because it seems to be X amount of space, X amount of ground, rinse and repeat. And it doesn't get really interesting. At least with the ground missions with the, what is it, Parapacham and Illusion of Communications. I think those are the two I like. Let's see. Implausibility of Reason I enjoy. And Illusion of Communication I like too. I think those are both good ground ones. Parapacham I like just because I think Tilly is a hoot in that one. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, Bobs? You keep falling down on the job. So I still have 18 more Vath to kill on the ground. Let's see if this will trip them all now. Good morning, Russell. Hey, Pi, I thought you weren't going to be here this morning. Well, if you're not there and you're doing what you said you were going to do, make sure you say hi from me. And thank you for the recipe. Pi has been sending me recipes of like Danish breads and things that are not typical American foods, but I grew up with or have enjoyed when I've been back in Sweden or Denmark. So it's kind of like being on vacation while I'm at home. My mom and my grandmother were both very good cooks, not chefs, nothing fancy. But I grew up knowing how to bake and cook from scratch, and something that's definitely helpful in this day and age, though. First thing I'm doing as soon as the restrictions on travel and getting out are done is I'm going out for dinner. Someplace nice. Someplace I don't have to cook. Seven more to go. Can you believe that it takes this long to get 60 Vath? That's crazy.
Yeah, they're not really massive clumps.
If you're in with the team, it's a lot easier. And we will team sometimes just to attract that many. And then everybody stands back and lets whoever needs to kill them kill, then we take turns, which is nice. Come on, 4 more. And here I was just wondering to myself, why haven't I seen any of these Dankosaurs in a while? Decanosaurs, whatever they are. Dankanosaurs? Decanosaurs. Danconosaurs. Good. Let's finish this one up and go do something in space. So what's a good story mission for destroying Terran ships in space?
I mean, you could always go to the battle zone.
Oh, I know, but I do the battle zone all the time. Try and give it a little variety. Besides, it's
It's
only...
a mission I don't want.
Something's got to have a mission with Terran ships, right?
Oh yeah, there is. Is this the amount is
I need 5 ships. Pfft. No biggie.
yeah, fair enough.
I was going to run off to New Romulus and finish up an Accolade, but I'll do that another time. Hey, so I have a jellyfish now, as a lot of people know. And I'm thinking of doing the Kelvin phaser build. But I'm looking for input before I drop a ton of dilithium and EC on it. Any thoughts?
I don't know. I've been always kind of iffy on special weapons since I run some really nutty builds with tons of different sets mashed together.
Well, sometimes that's that's an actual optimum, is to figure out what works best and just go that way. So I do have more than a few that are kind of mishmashes, but are extremely effective.
Yeah, because with my current anti-proton build, it's exactly like that. Plus the Alliance.
I did an AP build for my Khitomer battle cruiser, which was nice. I really like it. It's very effective. I'm not the best, obviously, since a better player could probably be getting better DP with it than I do.
Well, the thing is I don't really use a lot of the lockbox weaponry. It's actually mostly all reputation weaponry in con.
Hey, thank God I'm maxed out on all my reputation, and on this tune I've got 6,000 to 7,000 marks on each one, so I probably can afford to buy a few reputation toys.
Yeah, because I'm running a mass hybridization between temporal defense, competitive. What was it? Sorry, the name's slipping mine.
That's okay.
Iconian Resistance Delta Alliance, temporal defense, and a complete competitive war game set, and what else is anti-proton as well.
I've been using some competitive engines, especially on bigger, heavier ships, where the turn rate is really bad.
Oddest thing is I'm using the the Discovery, set for big tanky ships for in terms of like the shield and all that, but I'm using the competitive weapons actually because unlike others, I am actually a mine user and have been known to throw them forward whenever I build up enough. And the competitive actually contributes towards quantum damage, which I'm currently doing with my neutronic torpedo.
I like the neutronic torpedoes. They are nice.
Everything explodes, and everything's energy levels are shot as well.
Alright, let's see. Let's go talk to Commander. What's his name over here? which is how this whole thing started. I called in reinforcements. Well, I will have to call in more later. All right. Let's see what we can come up with. So Rasul is out there. Rasul, I don't know if you heard what Seeker said about if you've got the crystal and somebody else has got the EMH. That's correct?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Pi, I hate to correct you, but while cranberry sauce is good, it's lingonberry sauce.
So
It's Swedish.
All 5 people are running doctors, and you do Apollo healing crystal. There's a chance that 5 doctors will spawn.
That's exactly what happened last night. We're running around on, we're doing Pavo Dissension, and there were 5 of us teamed together, and I think at one point we had at least 5 doctors, but I think several people had their crystals and several people had the doctors. So I know we had more than 5 doctors popping at once. It was really fun. Of course, they're not effective, they're not helping you, but man, it's really hard to die with them there.
Yeah.
So it's just
It's also just too amusing.
It was really good. I'm trying to think if we actually had anyone die. No, I think the only time we had a death was when somebody timed out, which doesn't really count as death. It's not real death. It's death light.
Yeah, that does it.
All right. What happened to... Why don't we have a Terran Arc? Iconian War. That's not really Terran Arc. Let's see. In progress. See, it says story missions. Wouldn't it be nice if instead of just saying and story missions, they would tell you which story missions have Terrans? Cardassian? We did. There was one death in the end when 2 bosses... Oh, that's right. Right. We did have a death at the end. Pi, you don't have lingonberries over there? Seriously? How can you not have lingonberries? Cardassian struggle... Okay, we'll do it the easy way. See if they give us a nice list of episodes. It's Cardassian struggle. We have Spoils of War and Jabberwocky. Mirror Invasion, Tholian Incursion, Counterpoint, Assault on Terok Nor, Badlands, Temporal Reckoning, and Ragnarok. Okay. Parapachum. Oh, we could do Parapachum. Illusion of Communication. Pavo Dissension. Let's see. Okay, which do we want to do? Do we want to do Ragnarok? Do we want to do Temporal Reckoning? Let's see what goodies we can get out of it. Okay, Temporal Reckoning gives us the option to get lithium, temporally shielded, data core. Let's skip that one. Let's exit that. And Ragnarok gives us the option to get Trillium deplating. Okay. Age of Discovery. We want Parapachum. Gives us
a Vulcan research team studying the unique
Illusion of Communication. Oh, there's that healing crystal. So guess what we are going to play? We're going to do Illusion of Communication.
It is imperative that
Interesting. I do the sustained radiant field, but I don't do the chronoton drive. Interesting. Bioneural gel. Haven't used that one for a while. Haven't used deployment. Wow. And do crystalline absorption. I think I just ditched it, though, recently for something else. Alright, so let's go do this one, which doesn't let us be efficient and use it with Polaron, but I love the idea of giving my buffs the healing crystal so we can have some fun. And hopefully it'll get me my 5 ships. Let me jump back into chat here and see what everyone's saying. Parapachum is Disco Terrence in space. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I need just Disco Terrence. Within the Briar, I don't know. And it's a good question. I always associate anti-proton with being very attack-oriented rather than tanking. Oh, excuse me. No, originally when I started playing this, I was much more a tank builder than I am now. I do love this ship. Maybe I should max her out on whatever the heck. This is Disruptor build. Excuse me. Speaking of Disruptor builds, there's not a lot of supportive consoles that I'm aware of. And yes, I know I'd need to switch a few of these out. But if you have any recommendations for boosting a Disruptor build, please feel free to let me know.
I mean, yeah, there isn't much like specialty stuff that contributes towards other like fleets of it. One thing I could think of is the Cardassian Intel console set, but that doesn't give a whole lot of bonus damage for disruptors. It gives a lot of other utility on the side.
Well, it surprises me that there's a tremendous amount available through, or for AP, but not for our beloved Klingons. Our Klingons and our disruptors, we need that stuff.
I can say the same for phasers as well.
Yeah, and that surprises me. You'd expect a ton of phasers.
But for Polaron, there is
Oh, I have a beautiful Polaron
massive
build.
ton.
Yeah. I love my Polaron. Hey, we were discussing last night, and we're going to actually do it tonight. For better DPS, Fire at Will or Beam Overload?
Honestly, since in many cases there's often more enemies that are players, I often just stick with Fire One.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
just my personal opinion. I might be wrong on that being the best. Kind of doesn't help that I'm on the more aggressive side of things, which I like to shoot
morning.
everything.
Good
up.
morning. How are you?
Doing just fine.
Good. It's nice to
But,
hear you during daylight.
Yeah. This is usually when I get up. So,
Well, very shortly this will be when I'm going to bed, so that'll be interesting.
It's
But,
actually
yeah.
6.
As I said, though, that'll be
the
very
reverse from
short.
last.
Let's say check actually 6 a.m. where I'm at.
Yeah, it's almost 7 a.m. here. I'm in Chicago.
1400 here.
Yes, but you're on
yeah,
the wrong side of the
regarding-
planet, so...
Regarding Overload versus
Yeah.
Fire at Will. My understanding was that it depends on the circumstances and your particular build, but generally speaking, if you have enough targets, then Fire at Will have the higher potential. Yes?
Interesting. Okay. Well, because
Since
we
you have
use...
so many targets to hit at the same time, you essentially fire each weapon at 2 targets in addition to everything else.
I have the coordinates.
Well, since ISA is usually, or ISE is now the standard for parsing DPS,
In ISA you have very few enemies,
The research
and in that you have a few really big enemies with a humongous health pool, and therefore focusing all your fire onto those few enemies
yeah.
brings you more than spreading your fire out over very
Okay.
few enemies. So for ISA passing, Overload is probably the way to go.
Okay.
The other problem with Overload with Fire at Will is you shoot at everything. That means everything dislikes you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was There is
And since the current meta is glass cannons, being disliked by everyone tends to go squish.
a disabled to interrupt attack.
Yeah, I'm not one of those kind of people. Because you can't do DPS if you're dead.
This is very true.
Yeah.
Just wanna-
But it is a consideration to take into account. If you can't handle the damage, the threat, then just don't get it.
True.
This is why I could take it on to tanking.
So if you wanted to boost your DPS numbers, pulling aggro would be beneficial? Get more targets aimed at you? Or does that not really matter?
The problem with pulling aggro is that you then have to spend some of your console slots on driving the aggro.
Ah.
And
point,
that takes
good
away
point.
from your damage out. The best way for DPS is to go all in on the damage output and have a good tank.
Okay, my build is weird in that it actually increases in power based on how many people are attacking me because I'm running blind anti-proton shielding and the crystalline matrix.
Yeah, mine is similar. I like getting shot.
It's kind of like, this is a weird comparison, but I used to be a phlebotomist. And you always dread the thought of sticking needles into somebody until you realized you can stick needles in somebody else and it doesn't hurt you in the least.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same here. Okay, yeah, my ship might get killed, but I didn't get hurt. So you can get a little bit more adventurous.
Yeah, but I'd like to at least somewhat roleplay, and dying doesn't fit that. Sorry,
And true,
but
as I said before, you can't deal with DPS if you're dead.
So true.
Fascinating.
But it's not like EVE Online where when you die it's kind of permanent. I mean, you have to kind of go back to square one.
I really like that actually about it. It makes actually everything you have to do something that you have to make a decision about, whether
Yeah.
you are willing to invest that much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, on EVE Online, I actually focused on redundancy overall, so that I would always have a fallback. This is why I was building Tristan frigates a lot.
Tristans are awesome.
I mean, they're the tiniest little carrier.
Yeah, and they're freaking tough.
Yeah.
It was the armor frigate. Punisher? I think the Punisher was the one with the armor resistance. And yeah, I essentially could tank cruisers in that.
Seems that
Yeah, I think if I knew I was going to die and stay dead, or have to go back and revamp everything, I would play completely differently than I do.
What I think one of the biggest weaknesses of SDO currently is the crafting and economy system. We don't really have one.
Yes.
In EVE, every single item that exists has been harvested the resources somewhere from a player, or at least it could be. And every single item can essentially be crafted by a player and eventually be destroyed and recycled. So there's a full product cycle from harvesting the resources to using it, to consuming it, to destroying it, to recycling. There's a full cycle.
Well, I understand that in terms of game concept. I don't know how many people from Star Trek Online would want to do that, because if you're getting into playing Star Trek, things magically appear. Is kind of how it works.
But
And
that's only how you present it to the players. I mean, if only 5% of the player base were actually producing stuff and putting it on a proper market, and then there's a couple of NPCs that also simply put stuff on the market so that there's base supply guaranteed, then for most players it wouldn't change anything.
right, but I mean, is that part of Star Trek canon that we have an economy based on manufacturing
Yes.
and purchasing in the canon of the
Yes, we
series?
do.
How so?
It's not about purchase. It's about essentially it's more like communism. Everyone has an allotment for resources, and they can use that allotment for whatever they want. It's not buying, it's simply you have the right to so many resources and spend on whatever the hell you want.
You know, I had actually... This reminds me of that I recently got into playing Stellaris, and
Oh yeah.
one civilization I made was 100% communist and harmonic as if you could describe it.
That's Century Federation.
But the thing was, while my civilization was kind of weak and kind of average in other areas, it's that they went to full harmony mode and the shared burdens and all. It's that there was literally
Disable the control
zero
center.
conflict
Force
in
forces Pavo to
in
release
my
a wave
empire.
of psych-
I can do this all day. You? Not so much.
Basically, everything was in a state of zen. The other
Yeah, that's
neighbors,
kind of how how the Federation is also played. I'm not completely agreeing with that concept. I think money is, at least if managed correctly, a good way to
Time's up.
represent the resources available to a society and its distribution.
Yeah.
But
Disable the control.
Ever had an agonizer down your throat? No? You're about to.
Oh,
But
Tilly,
yeah.
shut up.
If you look at the Dominion War,
Mm-hmm.
there's very clearly a certain limit production capability of the Federation, and the vast majority of the production is usually focused on civilian goods.
Yes.
But since it's mostly replicator based, when the Dominion War actually started,
Now this will be a real
and the Federation actually started to take it serious and retooled all the fabricators from civilian production to military production, the Dominion was actually surprised by how much output the Federation produced. Which is a major point where they eventually lost.
Disable the controls.
They essentially underestimated the military production of the Federation, since its normal military production is fairly low.
got to my last nerve and jumped
I'm gonna
all
go
over.
because
back and have to watch that again.
technically everyone was contributing.
Yeah, well, more like every production facility can produce everything, so just usually doesn't.
Ah.
But yeah, there's at least the industry side exists. How the goods are then distributed among the population, that's a little bit wonky in the lore. Because what they show on screen wouldn't work.
Oh, no.
But generally speaking, there seems to be some kind of allotment for every person, and they can do whatever they want with that allotment.
Well, this is definitely not how I saw this ending.
And then there's another concept I had of a civilization where everything was credibility based, aka it would essentially be a large bounty system in that you
You don't have the
in that
stomach
your
to
rank,
stop us.
your hierarchy is has a numerical value based
Mhm.
on your credibility.
And I intend to make that happen.
That seems unlikely. Your campaign of terror here is over.
But technically,
Yeah.
such a faction
Oh, I'm
would be
not done
a
yet, Vulcan.
what you would describe as entirely privateer based.
Yeah, actually, I thought about making a mix of the two.
I think we have found all
Essentially, you have a base allotment that everyone simply gets for being a member of the state, society, culture, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can earn a bonus allotments based on their contribution to the culture of society. So by being a Starfleet captain and risking your life, you get more points to spend when you go back home and whatever. Build your vineyard or whatever the hell you want.
Hey, Lord of Destiny, thank you very much for the follow. We appreciate it.
we can use indeed.
Because
So, yeah.
in theory, one of the tenets of this civilization, or like a sort of a non-canon trip thing I was thinking was basically one of their primary tenets was credit is where credit is due.
Yeah, it's,
And that sorry, you first.
I was thinking the issue of economy is never well fleshed out in the original Star Trek series, and for that matter,
Yeah.
not a lot in TNG. It comes in more when we deal with DS9.
Yeah, but the current assumption that I heard is that essentially Federation hands out money to anyone that is interacting with a different culture. The one that actually uses money. Essentially, well, you got to deal with those primitives, well, here's some glass bubbles to deal with them. Let's call them Latin or whatever.
Keep those Klingon ships off us.
Great, those are Klingon ships, not Terran ships. Oh well.
Told you.
Yeah. But I got my crystal, so that's more important.
Yep, the crystal is awesome. As we found out yesterday.
Yes, yeah, we were just talking about that earlier, as I'm sure you heard. That was
Yeah,
fun.
I heard the end of it, but it is kind of wonky, isn't it?
It was really cool.
It's not bad wonky, but it is wonky.
Well, as I said, I don't know if it's a glitch, it's a bug, or something they just didn't realize, but I'm going to enjoy it all I can.
Are
Most
those the spiral
definitely.
wave disruptors?
It just occurred to me, if they still have the glitch in the 7 of 9 Patrol One Night in Bozeman,
Glitch.
That would
the
be
multiple
the one
parties?
where... Yeah.
They do.
Oh, God.
If you join the, it seems to me that if you join the patrol, one in a team and everyone is in a different map, then everyone that is in a separate map brings their team.
Oh, that's how that works. Okay. Yeah, because it was really nice to get down there with a total of a team of 25 players and 7 of 9.
Yeah, everyone has a healing crystal.
Yeah, that would be excellent.
And if you're really nasty, then you make sure that every single buff that you bring is an engineer with the mortar, the turret, and the drone.
Okay,
And then you give every single engineer the Horta or the Dino or something.
oh my god, that would be fun.
And if you want to really be a diabolical, your main character could have a complete drone build.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Again, Methuselah drone, Nomad drone, Echo Popo, 1-7 drone, the maintenance drone, and
there's-
whatever sort of.
There's Seeker explosive, there is the Ward Wars, there is so many different drones. I personally prefer if I have at least a couple of British armed drones. Currently using what am I using? On my main, I'm using a mortar. Because mortars are freaking awesome, and they allow you to kill stuff that's glitched out. Someone stuck in a wall.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Nice.
Which is why, if you can, bring a mortar, at least on a buff. So that if the mission has a glitch where something is stuck or got moved out of the map or something,
Oh yeah.
mortar doesn't care, it just kills it.
Yeah, that happens
Also-
way too often in Sompek.
Yeah. Also, another thing you could do with your bridge officers, give them all Delta Alliance rifles.
Really? What happens then?
Whenever you do an exploit with one of those, okay, the main fire can expose, but the secondary fire can exploit. And whenever you do the exploit, it doesn't do a normal exploit. It does an orbital strike.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah, there's one issue I got with that rifle for buffs, only for buffs. And that is that buffs really suck using the primary fire, but they work perfectly fine using the secondary fire mode of the weapon.
That's interesting. Why does that
Oh
happen?
yeah, since they have much slower firing cycles than players.
I think it's just that the AI's bugged and for some reason only checks usability can be lower than normal for the primary fire mode. Because for some reason everything else overrides the primary fire mode. Can't use it by moving, they can't use it when they do anything even slightly active. And since they usually jump around and move a couple steps, they don't fire.
Ah,
But the secondary fire mode they use just fine. If you give them, for example, the Romulan Plasma Repeater Pistol with that fuel tank and that rapid fire secondary fire mode, my bridge officers use that just fine.
good morning, Madman of War.
Oh yeah, since it's a indefinitely held thing.
Yeah, it's a secondary fire mode, and therefore they can use it.
Well, gentlemen, much as I am enjoying this, I do need to get ready to go do some work stuff for the day. So thanks for being here. I really appreciate that. You're both extremely informative and educational. We will be back tonight. I'm going to say either 5 or 6 tonight. We're going to do the Firewolf versus the Beam Overload, and we'll try it out, both styles, on a couple of ships and see what the DPS is. So if you want to join in for that, also we'll still be doing endeavors, and if anybody hasn't finished their Draenor Beach Onslaught, we will do that.
Sure.
So thank
That
you
was
both.
fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Thank you both. It was great to have you here this morning. Take care, and
You're welcome.
to everybody out there, we will talk to you this evening. Bye-bye.
Alright, see ya.